What's up, man? How you
What's
doing?
up, man? You seem a little down.
Man, that was probably the
I
most depressing loss I've
know.
ever seen in my life. Not even just Niners, man. The whole NFL was terrible, man. But
Yeah.
that's what I want to talk about. Like, there's really nothing else to talk about for me besides Kyle. Like, that's just been on my mind. Like, Kyle's pissing me off so much, dude. Like, and it really, my whole grudge with him started in the Super Bowl. Like, it's burned into my mind what he was doing. I remember so clearly. And I remember, like, people were blaming Jimmy for that pass he made and missed Sanders. But to me, the way I see it is Kyle kind of put Jimmy in a situation where he had to make a long pass to win the game. And it's like,
hmm
what do you expect if you're going to put Jimmy in that situation?
Yeah, you were
Because to
avoiding
me,
that situation all playoffs, right? And then you had to go to it.
yeah, and so like to me, I remember the drive. They got the ball, it was first down. He called a run for Mostert, and I think Mostert got like 5 or 6 yards. And I remember Mostert was averaging like 5 yards a carry or something that game, and Kyle just stopped and called like three pass plays in a row, and that's where it all went downhill. And from then, Kyle panicked, and he keeps doing this over and over again. He just makes these very, very small mistakes that no one seems to notice, but it's so huge for how the game plays out. And it's like you can blame Tart for dropping the pass last year. You can blame the players for this, but those are bang bang plays. Like they're playing their hearts out on the field, and for Kyle to make mistakes as small as that, like these simple head coach mistakes, it's just like man,
Also,
ugh,
he talks about bad luck. He caught lightning in a bottle twice. Raheem Mostert in 2019, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, this cheat code who is going for really long runs. I mean, he single handedly won the NFC Championship game, and Kyle Shanahan makes it about someone else. At the end, I
yeah,
mean, Mostert's not a factor in the end of the Super Bowl when really he was the reason they got there. And it wasn't about Kyle, made it about him. And then in this year, Purdy, out of nowhere, Mr. Irrelevant, kind of like Mostert, lightning
hmm
in a bottle, and Kyle gets him hurt because he didn't respect Hassan Reddick. Like, man, actually, you were really lucky twice, and you messed it up.
yeah, and it's just like man, like Kyle, like there's you really think Sirianni is a better coach than Kyle? Because I don't, but Sirianni's in the Super Bowl, and it's like is it really surprising that the best rosters in the NFC were the two that made it that far? And it's like, look, the one that got to the point was the one that had a coach that didn't get in the way of the team. You know
Right.
what I mean?
The Eagles just didn't beat themselves. You know, they
That's
challenged the one play that they needed to challenge, the fumble, and they hurried to the line of scrimmage and didn't let the Niners challenge that play. I mean, that was pretty much all they did, and they won.
like in the getting the quarterbacks injured. Like I know that's kind of ticky tacky and like saying that kind of stuff, and there's merits to it. But for me, the biggest things are just the fact that he continuously messes up these like easiest coaching decisions, these decisions that should just
Yeah.
be, you know, spot
In the
on.
biggest games of the career, in the
Yeah,
biggest games
he
of the season.
constantly
Yeah.
chokes. And so that's why I
Yeah.
think, like, man, like, you need a different coach at this point. You might have
Yeah.
these great play designs and, like, oh, like, this will work against this coverage and
Right.
stuff. But if you have, you know, like the little giants playing against, you know, some monsters, like, what do you,
Yeah.
the design doesn't matter. It's going to go out the
And if
window.
he
So
had, he
it's
might
just
have the
like,
best team in December, but he's going to find a way to lose in late January. It seems to be his pattern.
and the
And
thing
then
is,
he'll say, you
like,
know what? It was a great season. Like, let's not be judged on this last game. Let's focus on the other stuff that we did. Okay, but it's kind of a bottom line business.
and you're in the locker room, so you can kind of like get the vibe a little bit. But to me, something that was huge was when Juszczyk came out in the middle and was like, "Oh, we told Kyle like keep running the ball." Like all that says to me is like the players are getting sick and tired of this too, and they're saying
Mm-hmm.
like, "Kyle, like you're getting in our way. Like we
Mm-hmm.
know what to do. We know
That's
how to
exactly what they're
win
saying.
this,
You're
and
getting in
you're
our way. You're making
screwing
it
us
about
up."
you. Yeah, we know how we need to play, and you're making it about you. And so, thank goodness the Cowboys didn't end the game before Juszczyk could do that. But the Eagles
Yeah.
did. Juszczyk didn't have a chance to go up to Kyle and be like, dude, can we stop calling 7-step drop play action passes against this? We can't block it. They're too
So it's
good.
like, is it that
Let's
big of a
respect
deal
them.
if he gets
Yeah.
fired? Like, will the players respond the way that people think they'll respond, or will they push on and kind of consolidate in
People
themselves?
say
You know,
like
so I don't know.
he'd have to lose the locker room. Man, he wanted to go to Trey Lance, and his locker room overruled him for
He's
two
never
years.
had it. He's never
Does
had
he
a
have the
locker room.
locker room? I don't know.
He's this offensive coordinator that's buddy buddy with them, and they're all
Yeah,
talented, so they carry his image as he's a great coach, but he's not. He's really
but now
not.
there's
Like
so many guys on the team that make more
objectively,
money
he's
than
not.
him. Kittle makes more money than him. All the vets make more money than him now. And do they really listen to him, or do they run the team? And is Kyle just sort of hanging on?
I'm a young fan, but I'm not okay with relevancy. Like, I don't care for being in the NFC Championship 3 out of 4 years. But the fact that we keep losing it in these manners, like, that's worse than not making the playoffs to me. Like, it's just like, man.
Yeah, who do you want to be? Do you want to be TCU or do you want to be Georgia? Are the Niners content to be Michigan? TCU? Be like, oh, we'll be in the playoff, but we're not going to win it? Or are you actually striving to be the champions? Because I thought that was the goal. I thought these were the 49ers. I'm sorry, Ethan.
I don't know. But yeah.
Keep your head up, man.
You got to take other calls, man. See you around. I'm always going to keep watching,
All right, man.
Give us something to look forward to.
Appreciate you, man.
Later, man.
All right.